Swallow's End, a village shrouded in perpetual mist, nestled between hills that twisted like gnarled fingers. The fog was a constant companion, wrapping the village in a cloak of mystery and seclusion. The oaks crowding the narrow lanes were ancient, their branches heavy with secrets. These trees had stood for centuries, silent witnesses to the passage of time and the unfolding of countless tales. The air itself seemed to hold its breath, thick with unspoken stories and the damp smell of decay. Every breath taken in Swallow's End was a reminder of the village's age-old history and the many lives that had come and gone. Life in Swallow's End moved slowly, governed by the rhythm of the seasons and the weight of tradition. The villagers went about their daily routines with a sense of purpose, their actions steeped in customs passed down through generations. Villagers spoke in hushed tones, their faces etched with a weariness born of generations past. Their eyes held stories of hardship and resilience, of a community bound together by shared history and mutual understanding. They knew the stories that clung to the very air they breathed, tales of love and loss, of joy and sorrow, whispered from one generation to the next, ensuring that the past was never truly forgotten. And none more so than the legend of the Whispering Woods. This legend was the heart of their folklore, a tale that both fascinated and terrified the villagers. A dense, sprawling forest that bordered the village, its edges blurring into the fog. The Whispering Woods was a place of mystery, where the line between reality and legend was often blurred. It was a place of shadows and silence where the sun dared not penetrate. The forest was a world unto itself, a realm of perpetual twilight and eerie stillness. For in the heart of the Whispering Woods, it was said, something lingered. An ancient presence, neither seen nor fully understood, that watched and waited. Something that whispered your name on the wind. The villagers spoke of it in hushed tones, a chilling reminder of the unknown that lay just beyond their doorstep. 20 years ago, on a Halloween night choked with mist, Elara Hayes vanished without a trace. A bright, laughing girl of 10, she had skipped ahead of her friends on the village path, her red hair a flash of colour against the encroaching twilight. Her laughter was a beacon of joy in the dimming light. They had heard her laughter echoing from the woods, light and carefree. Then, suddenly, there was silence. A silence so profound it seemed to swallow the very air, leaving an unsettling void where her laughter once was. Search parties scoured the woods for weeks, their calls swallowed by the oppressive stillness. The villagers' hope dwindled with each passing day. But Elara Hayes was never seen again. Her absence left a haunting emptiness in the hearts of those who knew her. Some whispered that she had simply wandered too far, lost in the woods' labyrinthine embrace, unable to find her way back. Others spoke of ancient magic, of something dark and hungry that lurked beneath the trees, waiting for an unsuspecting soul. But the villagers of Swallow's End knew the truth, passed down through generations like a chilling lullaby. They believed in the old tales. Elara Hayes had been taken by the Whispering Woods, a place where the trees seemed to murmur secrets and warnings, and on Halloween night, they said, she whispered to the living, luring them to their doom, her voice a ghostly echo in the dark. The old folks called it foolishness, shaking their heads and muttering warnings about the dangers that lurked in the dark. The young ones, however, saw it as a challenge, a test of their courage and a chance to prove themselves. On Halloween night, as the wind howled like a banshee and the fog curled around the village like spectral fingers, a group of teenagers gathered at the edge of the Whispering Woods, their hearts pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. They were a mix of bravado and nervous laughter, their breath misting in the cold air, each one trying to mask their fear with jokes and taunts. There was Liam, the tall, lanky one, always trying to prove himself, his determination shining through his nervous smile. Emily, her eyes bright with a mixture of fear and excitement, her hands trembling slightly as she clutched her flashlight. And Daniel, the quiet one, his gaze fixed on the dark, silent woods, as if he could see something the others couldn't.
"Dare you to go in," he said, his voice steady but his eyes betraying a hint of fear.
"Yeah, right. Like you'd last 5 minutes in there," another retorted, trying to sound braver than he felt.
But the challenge hung heavy in the air. fueled by their youthful arrogance and the whispers of the night, daring them to step into the unknown. Tonight, they would prove their bravery, show the world that they were not afraid of old legends or ghost stories. Tonight, they would defy the legends, stepping into the darkness with hearts full of courage and minds full of determination. One by one, they stepped across the invisible boundary, the fog swallowing them whole, as if the forest itself was alive. The air grew colder, the silence deeper, broken only by the rustling of unseen creatures and the frantic beating of their hearts echoing in the stillness. The trees pressed close, their branches twisting overhead like skeletal arms, blocking out the faint moonlight, casting eerie shadows. The path, barely visible even in daylight, had vanished entirely, leaving them to stumble blindly through the undergrowth, feeling utterly lost. The further they went, the more oppressive the atmosphere became, weighing heavily on their spirits. The air grew heavy, laden with the scent of damp earth and something vaguely metallic, almost like blood. A sense of dread settled over them, cold and suffocating, making it hard to breathe.
Do you hear that? It's coming from over there.
A faint sound like the creak of a swing set drifted through the trees, sending chills down their spines.